Hey, welcome to Whiskey Mashup. Today we've got a fun battle between Calumet Farms Single Rack Black 15-year and Eagle Rare. It's a 10-year bourbon. I really like both of them, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's check it out. So hey, before we get into this matchup, I just wanted to talk for a second. Hey, we've been calling this Taste This for a long time. Well, not that long of a time, but it was suggested by my friend James that I change it to Whiskey Mashup because it seems like every time I do a tasting, I'm always comparing one bourbon to another. Sometimes it's a hard to get bourbon versus an easier to get bourbon, or in the case of what we're doing today, it's a matchup between two bourbons that anybody can get, and we're just part of a tournament. So we're going to call it Whiskey Mashup from here on out. That being the case, the Whiskey Mashup tournament that we've been doing, we're going to kind of change up the name on that a little bit too. My buddy Paul from the Sycamore Whiskey Club, he started it, runs it. They do a bourbon battle once a quarter, and I thought, well, maybe I'd just appropriate that name a little bit, change it to Whiskey Battle, and that's what we're going to call it from here on out. So today's battle between Calumet Farms Single Rack Black 15-year and Eagle Rare. Let's get into it, all right? All right, so Calumet Farms Single Rack Black. Calumet Farms is, it's actually a horse farm from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they also do bourbon. It's a sourced bourbon. A lot of people think it's probably Barton, and what they do, it's kind of unique. They do a small batch, a significantly small batch of 19 barrels. They do it on imagine this, single rack. And they name their bottling after, each time they do a bottling, they name it after a different horse. And this one here, it's named after Whirlaway. It's 105 proof. Obviously, it's 15 years old. Its mash bill is 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% malted barley. And it's priced between $130 and $140. It's non-chill filtered, and they say that adds some depth of character and color. And it's a pretty good bourbon. The Eagle Rare. Everybody knows Eagle Rare. It's from Buffalo Trace. It's a 10-year bourbon. They do their whole undisclosed mash bill because, they don't want anybody to know how they make it. It's 90 proof, and it's made for around $60. Or, you can buy it for around $60. Used to be a single barrel, but when they automated their bottling system, the barrels all get filled in line. So just like E.H. Taylor Small Batch and some other bourbons from Buffalo Trace, it's usually one barrel, it's one barrel in each bottle, but sometimes you might get two, like if you're on the end of a barrel and then they put a little bit of the next barrel in and they just kind of get, blended in there, So most of the time it's a single barrel, but it's not obviously single barrel. So why don't we get into the tasting, shall we? We'll start with the Single Rack Black. The nose has a nice vanilla. It's got a nice oak. There's some fruit in there. I think I can kind of get some apples, some sweet apples in there. Maybe some caramel. A little bit of honey. It's very, very nice. Very nice to smell. The taste, again, you kind of get some fruit, kind of fruit forward, a little cherry, some pepper, maybe some mint in there. There's definitely some burnt caramel in there, a little bit of oak and leather, and certainly on the finish you get some oak and leather, maybe a toffee, but it doesn't really hang around long. It's really enjoyable. I like the nose on it a lot, so I'm going to give the nose I'll give the nose a 7. The taste, it was enjoyable, maybe a little bit weaker, so I'm going to give that a 5. And the finish, even though obviously I think most of us like a longer finish, like it to linger, and I can still taste a little bit of the heat in there, even though this is a 15-year bourbon. There's a little bit of heat in there, but it doesn't have a strong finish. So I'm going to give that one a 5 as well. So we'll give that a 17. All right, so let's jump into this Eagle Rare tasting. Get some orange, I get a little bit of oak, Definitely some sweet marshmallows in there. On the palate, there's some sweet, definitely a honey and a brown sugar, some oak, maybe a light pepper, but it's a very nice and easy. I'd say it's got a fuller mouthfeel than the single rack black. The finish it's again a sweet finish. It's got honey, it's got vanilla, maybe some leather in there. But not overpowering. Definitely a little lower proof than the single rack black, but very enjoyable nonetheless. On the nose, it's sweet. Let's give that, I don't know, let's give that one a 6. The palate, you know, the taste, I enjoy that mouthfeel. I like the flavor. I'd give that one a 6, and I'd probably give the finish a 6 as well, because it's just consistent across all three, you know, all three tasting notes, and that's going to come up with an 18. So for this battle, the single rack black comes in at a 17, and the Eagle Rare comes in at an 18. So Eagle Rare is going to move on to our winners round, and single rack black's going to go into the second chance round, and we'll see it again. We'll see both of these again. So hey, that's it for today. Eagle Rare kind of surprised me, but hey, that's what we're doing this for. So we'll see you guys next time.